Welcome to Test Prep CA9 Part 1, question number 7. Question number 7 says, Billy, Susie, and Bob from the planet Xandor, where Mr. Sims is from, wanted to graph the amount of fuel they had for use in a spaceship they were building, which can use multiple types of fuel. Draw one stem and leaf plot for the following data and one dot plot. Ignore what the type of fuel is. Just worry about the amount. The spaceship is that cool. In other words, the spaceship can change whatever fuel it is to work. Also, don't forget a key for the stem and leaf plot. All right. So looking at this data, what we have is we have a lot of different, it talks about the fuels that Billy has. So Billy has 3 3/4 liters of gasoline, 3 3/4 liters of uranium, 2 3/4 liters of propane. Susie has 2.5 liters of kerosene, 4.5 liters of hydrogen for fusion, 4 3/4 liters of methane. Bob has 2 3/4 liters of plutonium, 4 3/4 liters of ethanol, and 3 1/4 liters of antimatter. So these are the values of the amounts that they have. So what we need to do is we need to first of all put those in order. Whenever you're working with data, it's just a good idea to just put it in order from least to greatest or from greatest to least so that you can work with it easier. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to start by looking for my smallest value, and it looks like my smallest value is right here at the 2.5 liters. So I'm going to mark out 2.5 liters of kerosene that Susie has, and I'm going to make a running tally over here. Not a running tally, sorry, a running amount. So that's 2.5 liters that she has, okay? And then the next one looks like 2 3/4 liters of propane and 2 3/4 liters of plutonium. So 2 3/4 liters of propane, 2 3/4 liters of propane, and 2 3/4 liters of plutonium that Bob has. And then we have 3 1/4 liters of antimatter, 3 1/4 liters of antimatter, and then we have 2 3 3/4, 3 3/4, and another 3 3/4. And what you're going to want to do is, if you're ever copying those down, a good thing to do is mark them off as you go. So I already marked off my 2.5. The 2 3/4 is a good one to mark off as well. So 2 3/4. I'm going to mark off this 2 3/4. I have to make sure I had both of them. The 3 1/4 I have to mark off because I already got it. Then the both 3 3/4 I have to mark off because I have both of those as well. Which leaves me with a whole bunch of 4 values. So I'm just going to go ahead and input those. Looks like my next one that I have to input is the 4.5 liters of hydrogen for fusion. So I'm going to put that 4.5 over here. So 4 1/2, and then there's 2 4 3/4. It's important that you do both of those 4 3/4. Whenever you're doing the data, that data, if there's multiple times, it tells you something. So you want to make sure you include those extra data points. All right, so that gives us basically all of our values lined up from least to greatest. So that's a great start. Now we have to make the stem and leaf plot. So what I'm going to do to make my stem and leaf plot is I'm going to draw just my stem and leaf things here. And these are my stems, and these are going to be my leaves. Now, you should write out stem and leaves. I'm only abbreviating because I want to save some space here and save some time. But stem and leaf plots, this part over here is the stem, these part are the leaves. So if I draw a line basically straight down my data, if I draw a line here, we can see what all of my stems are. Okay. Now if I were to have a fraction, let's say over here I were just to have 1/2 or something like that, then the stem would be 0. But we don't have any data like that, so I can ignore that for now and just go with here and see that my stems that I need a stem of 2, I need a stem of 3, and I also need a stem of 4. That will handle all the values that I have. So I'm going to go ahead and do those now. Excellent. So now I have my stems right over here. And I need to put in all of the leaf values. And the leaf values are all of these on this side here. All of those are the leaf values. So I'm going to start off with the smallest leaf value of 1/2. And then I'm going to put in this 3/4 and this 3/4. And I'm just going to do that. I'm going to put in all the 2's at once. And there we have it. We have all of my 2's finished. I have my 2.5, my 2 3/4, and my 2 3/4. And I'm going to need to write a key a little bit later that explains how to read this. And we'll do that in just a little bit here. But for now, just recognize that that's 2 1/2, 2 3/4, 2 3/4. So that's how you would read the stem and leaf plot. All right, going to move on to my 3 values, which are 3 1/4, 3 3/4, and 3 3/4. So I need to put a 1/4, a 3/4, and a 3/4. So I'm going to do that right now. And I've gone ahead and done the 4's as well. I did the 4 1/2, 4 3/4, and the 4 3/4. And I just put them in here just to save a little bit of time on the video so that it doesn't crash on me, hopefully. So anyway, so that is basically the stem and leaf plot right there. The only thing I need to finish to make this complete is I need to have a key that explains how these work. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and make my key right here. And in my key, I'm going to say 2 3/4, right? Or 2 1/2, like that, means 2 1/2. And by doing that, what I've done is I've explained exactly what or how to read the graph. And you can put key there to help a little bit more. So right now you can see that I have finished my stem and leaf plot. I'm actually going to break up and do the dot plot in another video in order to prevent it from crashing on me. So I hope that you've enjoyed this part, and I hope that it makes sense. And we'll move on to the next one and see how you do. All right, look forward to seeing you then. Bye.